We're live.
Hi, sorry we're late. I had to bitch about doctors for half an hour.
You know,
I feel
my
so.
manager has a saying, never apologize.
That's true. Um, Rueful, we're late.
The phrase I use is thanks for your patience.
Thank you for your patience. All our hordes, our beautiful hordes.
Indeed. Speaking of things that are beautiful, sweater.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. What's that? Is that an armhole?
Yeah. Yeah, let me turn it right side out because I'm knitting it inside out because of reasons. So here's the armhole
Yes.
and here's the neck. And I think last week I was like, or 2 weeks ago, I was like about here. So
Yeah.
now I'm here.
Wow.
And as you can see, we're starting to bring in the third color, which is like got some purple in it.
Nice.
I'm very excited.
That is so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. I haven't been doing art because I've been trying to prep the house and also homeschooling. Um, inspection. We're getting an inspection tomorrow, so from someone who, if they say our house is worth enough money, it's going to ease us up financially quite a bit. So, but I do need to like find 2 hours to do some watercolors because I was hired by a Waldorf school to do some pretty flyer illustrations, and I promised them I'd finish them by the 17th.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Yeah. And while I've got my watercolors out, I'm going to have to do 3 fairy paintings for Lisa. Madeline hired me to do some painting.
Nice.
They're pretty. I sold another painting off Etsy.
Nice. Which one?
The Unicorn Grotto.
Oh yeah, you told me that on Sunday.
Oh,
That's so cool.
that is still cool. They're playing Smash Bros upstairs. Do, 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 do. Where were we?
I remember Gandalf being an arrogant dick, so somewhere around there. Doesn't really narrow it down.
Miss Randir! Gandalf, I was Gandalf, but you're all in white. Tell me of yourselves. Sound about right?
Sounds about right. Is it the end of a section?
It is.
That's probably it.
Incidentally, I decided to branch out because I've been watching Bernadette Banner a bunch and I adore her. And I was like, let's see who else is costuming. And I found Rachel Maxey.
I love Rachel Maxey. I just introduced Sandy to her the other day.
She's so much fun. Oh my God, she's so much fun. I tried to get bold with my eyebrows just because she's so inspiring. I'm not very bold. It's
Takes
weird when you
practice.
live long enough. Like, so my eyebrows have always been like way too bushy ever since about 1990. All that people would say when they talk about my eyebrows was, "Oh, they're so bushy." And then, so I tried.
Who the hell said that?
Well, in the 90s, the pencil brow was in.
I know, but who says that about someone's facial features to the person?
Well, like makeup artists and things like that. And actual hairstylist people, and they would be kinder than that, but they would be like, gosh, that's a bushy eyebrow. And then a decade passed and suddenly my eyebrows were too thin, and it was bizarre. Like, I don't know how anyone can live longer than about 2 decades and still take any kind of fashion seriously, because you spend all this time trying to correct for your eyebrows being too thick, and then suddenly you're getting like eyebrow volumizer.
The thing is, I can absolutely believe that's a real thing.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. I like, though, the trend with the like eased in the front and then sharp at the end. That's pretty cool. That's new to me. So I'm not very good at it, but I like it. And that's how Delightful does all of her doll eyebrows. So I fell in love with it in doll form first.
I've really never done anything eyebrow wise. I put extra moisturizer on them because they get dry. That's
Right?
about it.
Eyebrow dandruff sucks.
Eyebrow dandruff is the worst. I
Like, you
think the
go
only time,
to the eyebrow and it starts snowing in your eye.
right, or you're just like, what's on my face? Oh, no.
Oh, gross.
The only time I think I've ever had my eyebrows shaped was Kit's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
They looked pretty good, actually. I vaguely recall.
Sure. Yeah. Eyebrows, they're super important.
I guess
They're another way to express yourself. That's
that
that's
is
where
true.
I'm coming from. And here's how I express myself with my eyebrows.
I do which, as you can see, is a consistent expression of mine.
I can't really raise one eyebrow. I just look really tortured when I try.
I can do the left one, right one, not so much. Well, I guess kind of actually.
Yeah, no, that looks great.
Right one looks a little more evil. Left one looks more quizzical.
Yeah, remember that. Oh, it doesn't matter when you've got bangs.
I mean, I've had bangs for a long time, but now I am too lazy.
Oh,
If you're wondering if I did this to my hair, nope. It did that to itself. I didn't stop it.
oh
Couldn't
yeah, no
have.
styling.
Oh,
Absolutely.
before we get into reading, finally in like 35 minutes, um, I'm really annoyed because you can't tell so much, but you kind of can right now. So the purple's washing out of my hair and it's fading out brown. I bleached this. This was blonde, and now it's my natural color again somehow.
The blue is leaving and the red is staying and it's mixing with
With the yellow underneath, because it was pretty yellow. Like I didn't bleach it platinum.
and so
So
yeah, it's not brown.
yeah, I'm like, I was expecting pink.
Sure.
I was not expecting brown. I'm kind of annoyed. But I'm
It's
probably
a
gonna do at least.
wood.
I'm probably gonna do one more purple just so that I can like match my sweater for the sweater picks when it's done. But then I'm probably gonna go back to like green or blue. I don't think purple's that flattering on me.
I think it looks great, but
Yeah.
like you said, nobody noticed, so maybe it just looks too natural on you.
Right. Well, now I wouldn't expect anyone to notice because it's brown again.
I'm going up to Tiffany's salon. That's going to be one of my birthday presents. And I'm going to, depending on how bold I'm feeling, just be like, do something. Oh, and she said um pay her for materials, but she would really love some of my art to hang up in her studio, something like Medusa getting her hair done. And I was like,
That'd be so cool.
yeah.
Ahem. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Chapter, I don't know. Chapter
B.
White Rider. Chapter B?
V.
B. Tell me of yourselves. What do you wish to know? Said Aragorn. All that has happened since we parted on the bridge would be a long tale. We went to Lothlorien. We went down the river. We were attacked by orcs. We chased them. Frodo went to Mordor.
Do you really think that Aragorn is capable of being that concise? What has he ever done?
And then we sailed under the Argonath, and I looked upon my forebears, and I thought, wow.
To which Gandalf will say, to paraphrase my very favorite Lord of the Rings meme ever, you have 4 bears? Did I send you that?
No.
Oh my god, it's because the meme is Theoden at his son's grave and saying, Simbalmuna, long has it covered the graves of my forebears. Now it shall cover my son. And then it's Gandalf going, you have 4 bears? And then Theoden going,
Oh God, that's awful.
it's so bad, but it's so funny. Oh my god.
Will you not first give us news of the hobbits? Did you find them, and are they safe? No, I did not find them, said Gandalf. There was a darkness over the valleys of the Emyn and I did not know of their captivity until the eagle told me. Notice he doesn't say whether or not they're safe. It's all about me. Me. The eagle, said Legolas. I have seen an eagle high and far off. The last
I've
time we
seen an eagle once. Sorry.
it has big wings.
That's nice, sweetie. Grown-ups are talking.
The last time was 3 days ago above the Emyn. Yes, said Gandalf. That was Gwaihir, the Wind Lord, who rescued me from Orthanc. I sent him before me to watch the river and gather tidings. His sight is keen, but he cannot see all that passes under hill and tree. Some things he has seen, and others I have seen myself. The ring now has passed beyond my help, or the help of any of the company that set out from Rivendell. Very nearly it was revealed to the enemy, but it escaped. I had some part in that.
All right,
For I sat
Gandalf.
right. For I sat in a high place and called Frodo a fool, if we recall. That was what the voice was saying. You fucking moron!
He should have known it was Gandalf just from that. Who else negs him that hard?
Take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off. Exactly. For I sat in a high place and I strove with the dark tower, and the shadow passed. Then I was weary, very weary, and I walked long in dark thought. Then you know about Frodo, said Gimli. How do things go with him? I cannot say. He was saved from a great peril, but many lie before him still. He resolved to go alone to Mordor, and he set out. That is all that I can say. Not alone, said Legolas. We think that Sam went with him. I like he's got that. I know I keep interrupting, but Legolas doesn't say Sam went with him. He says we think he did. It's like a fair witness in Stranger in a Strange Land. Like we didn't see it happen. He could have just drowned.
I mean, he very easily could have just drowned.
Or thrown himself off the waterfall, but we think.
I also love that you're apologizing for interrupting when I've already interrupted you 5 times in like 2 minutes. Like, yes, how dare you?
Okay, you're right. I shouldn't apologize. I'm not sorry.
Good.
We think that Sam went with him. Did he? Said Gandalf, and there was a gleam in his eye and a smile on his face. Did he indeed? It is news to me, yet it does not surprise me. Good. Very good. You lighten my heart. You must tell me more. Now sit by me and tell me the tale of your journey. And Merry and Pippin are?
So Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn are kind of thoughts, and they forgot to ask. Also, tell me more, did they get very far? Tell me more. Are they going to Mordor? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Does Mary have a scar?
Tell me more, are they off with the Ents? Tell me something, tell me what, 'cause that don't make no sense.
The companion sat on the ground at his feet, and Aragorn took up the tale. For a long while Gandalf said nothing, and he asked no questions. His hands were spread upon his knees, and his eyes were closed. At last, when Aragorn spoke of the death of Boromir, and of his last journey upon the great river, the old man sighed. You have not said all that you know or guess, Aragorn, my friend, he said quietly. Vague booking. Poor Boromir. I could not see what happened to him. It was a sore trial for such a man, a warrior and a lord of men. Galadriel told me that he was in peril, but he escaped in the end. I am glad. It was not in vain that the young hobbits came with us, if only for Boromir's sake. But that is not the only part they have to play. They were brought to Fangorn, and their coming was like the falling of small stones that starts an avalanche in the mountains. Even as we talk here, I hear the first rumblings. Saruman had best not be caught away from her home when the dam bursts. In one thing you have not changed, dear friend, said Aragorn. You still speak in riddles.
That's one way to put it.
I like Ian McKellen's reaction to that. Just,
oh, stop.
Oh, stop. Whereas Book Gandalf predictably just negs them all. What, in riddles? Said Gandalf. No, for I was talking aloud to myself. A habit of the old. They choose the wisest person present to speak to.
See, that's just fucking unnecessary. Why you gotta be like that?
The long explanations needed by the young are wearying. He laughed.
Your face is wearying.
He's really not that much older than Legolas.
Also that. Legolas also was being a dick about being old recently, though, so
right?
He doesn't get a pass.
The old boys' room. Okay,
Excuse me, can you point the way to the old boys' room?
He laughed, but the sound now seemed warm and kindly as a gleam of sunshine. I am no longer young, even in the reckoning of men of the ancient houses, said Aragorn. You're the youngest one here, honey.
Right.
I think so. Gimli might be younger. We should check the appendices at some point.
I feel like Gimli is younger because he's Gloin's son.
Yeah.
And Gloin was, I don't think, had any kids in The Hobbit, which was only, what,
it wasn't
50 years ago?
Mentioned. It was 70 years ago, and it wasn't mentioned, but he might have had.
Okay, we should look that up. Now I'm curious.
Right?
It's also, I was just sitting here like, Mom says you have to let me have a turn with the riddles. I'm not that much of a baby, okay?
I am no longer young even in the reckoning of men of the ancient houses, said Aragorn. Will you not open your mind more clearly to me? Not these guys, to me. What then shall I say? Said Gandalf, and paused for a while in thought. This, in brief, is how I see things at the moment, if you wish to have a piece of my mind as plain as possible.
We literally just fucking said that's what we want, dude.
Well, you get what you asked for. 4.5 paragraphs of monologue.
Good luck.
Monologue.
It's thought exposition. It has to go somewhere.
And that it is borne by a hobbit. He knows now the number of our company that set out from Rivendell and the kind of each of us, but he does not yet perceive our purpose clearly. He supposes that we were all going to Minas Tirith, for that is what he would himself have done in our place. And according to his wisdom, it would have been a heavy stroke against his power. Indeed, he is in great fear, not knowing what mighty one may suddenly appear, wielding the ring and assailing him with war, seeking to cast him down and take his place. That we should wish to cast him down and have no one in his place is not a thought that occurs to his mind. That we should try to destroy the ring itself has not yet entered into his darkest dream, in which no doubt he will see our good fortune and our hope. For imagining war, he has let loose war, believing that he has no time to waste. For he that strikes the first blow, if he strikes it hard enough, may need to strike no more. So the forces that he has long been preparing, he is now setting in motion, sooner than he intended. Wise fool. For if he had used all his power to guard Mordor so that none could enter, and bent all his guile to the hunting of the ring, then indeed hope would have faded. Neither ring nor bearer could long have eluded him. But now his eye gazes abroad rather than near at home, and mostly he looks towards Minas Tirith. Very soon now his strength will fall upon it like a storm. For already he knows that the messengers that he sent to waylay the company have failed again. They have not found the ring, neither have they brought away any hobbits as hostages. Had they done even so much as that, it would have been a heavy blow to us, and it might have been fatal. But let us not darken our hearts by imagining the trial of their gentle loyalty in the dark tower. For the enemy has failed, so far, thanks to Saruman.
One thing I really enjoy about Lord of the Rings is that what brings down Saruman and Sauron is always their own, like, just power hungry, fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Paranoid hubris.
Yeah.
Like, it never occurs to them that that anyone would not want the power of the ring, so they don't think about it.
Right?
It's too late.
One of the things that also makes it so fucking believable. People who are that way, and there are people who are that way, it doesn't occur to them that they're not that's not universal.
Yeah.
It's like being colorblind.
Yeah, it's really weird to have those conversations. I used to occasionally have arguments with Ben because he couldn't really believe that I didn't care about money and influence. Like, he
Like, oh,
just
no, you're just really subtle with your game, right?
basically, occasionally he'd be like, "Are you sure you're not dating me because my family has money?" And I was like, "Bro, I really don't care. Really, really, really could not care less." And he'd be like, "Okay, but are you sure?" I'm like, "I didn't even know your family had money when we started dating. Also, why the fuck would I care? I don't even care. Like, I am not really motivated by money."
Nor I.
That was the part that he couldn't get. Not motivated by money.
Some days when we're really broke and we have nowhere to, like, every dollar has 5 places to go, I feel like I wish I was more motivated by money, but there's like I sold 3 paintings out of a restaurant. I think I got paid for 2. I haven't pursued that. The restaurant closed, and I was like, "Oh well." There was a restaurant in Crested Butte that was going to hang my painting, and then they decided to buy it from me, and I never got the money from that, and I just don't care. I really don't. I wish I did. It would be better for our finances if I did.
Yeah. I mean, I care about feeling secure and being able to pay my rent and stuff like that, but I've never been interested in being rich. I don't think it's ethical to be rich.
Nope.
And I don't make my decisions based on whether or not they're going to make me rich or
Yep.
powerful. Same thing. Social influence. No thanks.
Nope.
Sounds like a waste of time.
I want to be able to paint every day. I just really want to paint. And I'd love for that to be useful and remunerative and um yeah, I'd love for that to make enough money that I could pay the bills so Jason could quit his job that he hates and just like do woodworking.
I wish we didn't live in such a capitalist hellscape so that we could just have universal basic income and we could all do whatever the hell we wanted with our time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Um,
Like it's all icing at that point.
yeah,
Everybody gets cake. Everybody gets cake, but you have to ice it yourself. That I could get behind.
I could really get behind that.
Yeah. Oh man. And that's the kind of thing that doesn't make any sense to the people who are
Oh,
influenced by power and money.
yep.
Because if no one is suffering and broke, then who do you compare yourselves to find out whether you won the game?
And that's why Sauron will ultimately be defeated.
Absolutely. Sauron means a lot of things, doesn't it?
Doesn't it best?
Oh, I hope so. I really do. Um, do. Well, the enemy has failed so far, thanks to Saruman. Then is not Saruman a traitor? Said Gimli. Indeed, yes, said Gandalf. Doubly. And is not that strange? Nothing that we have endured of late has seemed so grievous as the treason of Isengard. Even reckoned as a lord and captain, Saruman has grown very strong. He threatens the men of Rohan and draws off their help from Minas Tirith even as the main blow is approaching from the east. Yet a treacherous weapon is ever a danger to the hand. Saruman also had a mind to capture the ring for himself, or at least to snare some hobbits for his evil purposes. So between them, our enemies have contrived only to bring Merry and Pippin with marvellous speed and in the nick of time to Fangorn, where otherwise they would never have come at all. Also, they have filled themselves with new doubts that disturb their plans. No tidings of the battle will come to Mordor, thanks to the horsemen of Rohan, but the Dark Lord knows that 2 hobbits were taken in the Emyn and borne away towards Isengard against the will of his own servants. He now has Isengard to fear as well as Minas Tirith. If Minas Tirith falls, it will go ill with Saruman. It is a pity that our friends lie in between, said Gimli. If no land divided Isengard and Mordor, then they could fight while we watched and waited. The victor would emerge stronger than either and free from doubt, said Gandalf. Smack. Actually, that's kind of like when people are like, I want to go back in time and kill Hitler. I want to be like, no, Hitler's the reason they lost. He went knucking futs, and if he had died and one of his generals that believed in his vision but wasn't dying of syphilis holes in the brain took over, we'd all be speaking German.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. People love to put all of the blame for historical events onto one particular scapegoat, not naming any names. But in fact, fascism is a cultural movement.
It is, yeah.
And it can't survive based on one dude.
Nope. Yeah. So the people, the Hitlers of history, including current events, are nothing without their support network.
May our fascist dictators now and in future be forever as deeply incompetent as Sauron, Saruman, and ultimately Hitler. We pray for the massive blundering of our enemies.
Yes. May they always be defeated by their own greed and hubris.
Or
Hopefully
even if their greed
before...
and hubris just makes it easier for us to defeat them, that's fine too. But the point is,
Yeah.
may they be really bad at their jobs.
And may we get better at stopping them before the genocide. It's just...
I mean, if we want to stop fascism in America before the genocide, we're gonna need to sink the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
That is a point. Before more genocide?
Yes, none more would be nice.
No more.
I
No
would
more.
like
It doesn't work. It's crappy.
That's not a very uplifting note to end on. Do you want to read a little longer?
5 more minutes. Yeah, let's get 5 more minutes. Gandalf's still talking. Come on. But Isengard cannot fight Mordor unless Saruman first obtains the ring. That he will never do now. He does not yet know his peril. There is much that he does not know. He was so eager to lay his hands on his prey that he could not wait at home, and he came forth to meet and to spy on his messengers. But he came too late, for once, and the battle was over and beyond his help before he reached these parts. He did not remain here long. I look into his mind, and I see his doubt. He has no woodcraft. He believes that the horsemen slew and burned all upon the field of battle. But he does not know whether the orcs were bringing any prisoners or not. And he does not know of the quarrel between his servants and the orcs of Mordor. Nor does he know of the winged messenger.
Excuse me.
The winged messenger, cried Legolas. I shot at him with the bow of Galadriel above Sarn Gabir, and I felled him from the sky. He filled us all with fear. What new terror is this? The same terror, different mount. Someone made me happy. Who the fuck was it? Damn it, I can't remember. Recently I saw like a YouTuber talk about Nazgul on fell beasts instead of inadvertently calling the beasts Nazgul.
Yay!
And I was like, oh, like water in the desert.
Yeah, that's my Frankenstein's monster type hill to die on. Fell beasts are not Nazgul. Don't even.
I know it's lame that Tolkien came up with 8 great words for everything else and every blade of grass and every town and every mountain, and he didn't name the beasts anything awesome. That doesn't make them Nazgul.
Facts.
What new terror is this? One that you cannot slay with arrows, said Gandalf. Wah, wah. You only slew his steed. It was a good deed, but the rider was soon horsed again. For he was a Nazgul, one of the 9 who ride now upon winged steeds. Soon their terror will overshadow the last armies of our friends cutting off the sun. But they have not yet been allowed to cross the river. Saruman does not know of this new shape in which the ring-wraiths have been clad. His thought is ever on the ring. Was it present in the battle? Was it found? What if Theoden, Lord of the Mark, should come by it and learn of its power? That is the danger that he sees, and he has fled back to Isengard to double and treble his assault on Rohan. And all the time there is another danger close at hand which he does not see, busy with his fiery thoughts. He has forgotten Treebeard. Now you speak to yourself again, said Aragorn with a smile. Hint. Treebeard is not known to me, and I had guessed part of Saruman's double treachery, yet I do not see in what way the coming of 2 hobbits to Fangorn has served, save to give us a long and fruitless chase. Wait a minute, cried Gimli. There is another thing that I should like to know first. Was it you, Gandalf, or Saruman, that we saw last night? You certainly did not see me, answered Gandalf. Therefore I must guess that you saw Saruman. Evidently we look so much alike that your desire to make an incurable dent in my hat must be excused. Good, good, said Gimli. I am glad that it was not you. Gandalf laughed again. Yes, my good dwarf, he said. It is a comfort not to be mistaken at all points. Do I not know it
Wow.
only too well?
Wow.
Right? But of course I never blamed you for your welcome of me. How could I do so, who have so often counseled my friends to suspect even their own hands when dealing with the enemy? Bless you, Gimli, son of Gloin. Maybe you will see us both together one day and judge between us. Okay, now it's 10 o'clock and we can stop. Although, next time we should try to go live a little earlier. I wouldn't mind bitching about doctors in front of the internet anyway. Stupid doctors.
Oy vey. Well,
Yeah.
here, look at some pretty yarn. It's so pretty. So you can see it a little better on this side. You do one row of the new color and then 2 rows of the old color and then 1 and then 2 and then 1 and 1 and then 1 and 2 again, but the opposite. And then you're
Gradient
in the new color. Huh?
Gradient achieved.
Gradient achieved. That's where we're at.
It's so pretty. I shall be watercoloring, and then we'll finish zinc. I could not get that sculpture to work, and then I dreamed it, and I was like, oh, oh my god, you want to know what it needed to be? A crow. The sculpture needed to be a crow. The zinc things that they put that in ancient batteries were called crow's feet. It just needs to be a brass crow.
I have to admit that I was wondering why you didn't make it a crow. I'm sorry, I should have said something.
Well, your brain got into my brain eventually. Well, I wanted this shape because I thought that shape was so cool. And then I was trying to use that shape as crow's feet on a crow, and it just wasn't, nothing was gelling. I was like, how about we just throw away the shape and just reference the name? And yeah, so yeah, you were right. You should do the paintings.
Do you want to do the sweaters?
Absolutely. Let's just both gain immortality, and then we'll both have the time to gain each other's skills because that takes decades.
Side note, if you haven't seen The Old Guard on Netflix, you should watch that.
Okay.
It's an action movie. It's about immortals.
Oh yeah, I saw a kind of sort of review, or at least a synopsis. It looked fun.
It's really fun. It's great.
Not watching a lot lately. Mostly YouTube. A lot of YouTube, because YouTube doesn't ask me to commit to anything longer than about 18 minutes.
Fair. All right. Well, I will see you on Sunday.
Yep, I'll let you know how the inspection went. I love you.
I love you too.
Cuidado.
Llamas.